Alright, good evening to you. Welcome back to Shaving with Fuzzy. I'm Fuzzy. How y'all doing tonight? So it's Friday evening, and I took the weekend off, thanks to my boss. My boss is a wonderful person, I tell you. Not only is she one of the strongest people I know, ranks right up there with my mom as a matter of fact, but she's also just, she puts up with me, so what can you say? So anyway, thanks to my boss, thank you boss, I got the first 3-day weekend I remember having off in a long time. I don't remember the last time I had a 3-day weekend off. And the corporate office still tried to mess it up, and she wouldn't let them. So there we go. I got a weekend off. A friend of mine and I went out of town and had a really good time, saw some things, and it was good to drive back. I made it far enough north that they were picking cotton. Near and dear to my heart, because I spent a lot of years driving a cotton picker and a cotton hauling truck and things of that nature. And it's just neat. Now what I didn't do while I was gone was shave. So I've got like it's like a 4-day growth here, 3 or 4, something like that. And I did that on purpose because I want to put a razor to the test, and the best way to put a razor to the test is to grow a beard out. Now, that being said, a lot of times the best test of a razor is how it works on your everyday beard because you shave every day. I agree with that. Not only I agree with that, I champion that cause. But sometimes you just want to see how well a razor attacks a growth like this. And as you can see, I don't have a light beard. I've been telling people that. It's nothing light about my beard. So you're asking what razor is Fuzzy going to use? Well, the other day, and I'm not seeing it sitting right here kind of where I thought it was, and that means I put it somewhere, but that's okay too. I got the black TNNSER in, Tom's No Name SE razor, 3D printed, and I got one of the first ones in black. I'm keeping that one for myself because it's one of the first. But what I did was he had some printed, and he being Jayara, had some printed in green. And I got one of those for a friend of mine who has given me several razors. You may remember Michael from the comments. I got the Starling from him, and I got several other really nice razors from him along the way. And just generosity on his part giving them to me. And I've used them and will continue to. But so he expressed interest in the green TNNSER, and I got him one. Now this is a different material than what the black one was made out of, and I don't understand all the different materials, and I don't understand all the magic that brings it about. What I do understand, it's a TNNSER 3D. It says so right there on the handle. So Michael, this one's going to you. I know you said you would take whichever one, you weren't being picky. Appreciate that, but the black one's going to be mine because like I said, that's one of the first ones, and I'm going to keep it and use it as my own. So you're going to get the green one. So this is kind of a how-to on the TNNSER. I'm going to put it back together real quick, and I'm going to show you from the start. So we're going to start with dry hands. I found out that works best with these. Now the only thing I have done is I did fit the blade in on a dry fit one time just to make sure everything was great. Now the thing about it is I knew it was going to be because JR, not only is he handling the ordering from the printer and getting them in and shipping them out to everybody all over the place, but he is also taking each individual razor and cleaning it up so that it loads properly and smooth and it still holds tight. And what can you say about a guy like that? He's a member of the Order of the Toady at Toast, and there's a reason for that because he's just an outstanding person. A lot of the people over there are good people. We have a small group, but it's a good group, and we're definitely SE enthusiasts over there. So anyway, to get back to the TNNSER here, to load it is actually not so complicated. You just slide the cap forward and it slides off. And I use a finger on the top to do most of the work on the sliding. That's why it works best being dry. And then you take your old blade. In this case, we're going to use the same Powell Super blade that I'm getting used to this camera angle, and I keep holding stuff over here, and the camera is actually on this side of the phone that I've got up here sideways, so you may have noticed me doing that. So you take the blade and you just put it in here in the slide. It's got the 2 little notches there, or 2 little studs to hold the blade. And then all you do is you get the head here, the cap lined up into the grooves. You got a tongue and groove type thing. See there how that all lines up? Nothing to it. And then you slide it back with your finger on the top. That way your finger is nowhere near the blade where it can bite. Don't go on the side. Don't be pushing from the front. That's going to bite you. Do everything from the top. And there's nothing to it, especially with dry hands. It's a piece of cake. It's just a work of art. So, topic of discussion for today. And I posted a little bit real early this morning. I had woke up and, like I normally do when I wake up and there's not a whole lot going on, I jumped on my phone and was catching up some emails and some banking stuff. My bank was just bought out by another bank, so whether I really liked it or not, I am now a member of a bank that I didn't sign up for. It's okay, I started to sign up for it anyway because it's the same bank the company uses, and people who use it get their paycheck a couple of days earlier, which I've noticed I've been doing. I ain't complaining about the change. So anyway, I jumped on and I was reading and doing stuff, and I made a comment that I just can't get behind some of the newer razors. Razorrock has one in particular that I was talking about. It looks a lot like the Starling, but it uses a half double-edged blade snapped. And I thought I was going to like it. I actually showed some enthusiasm, I think, to start with, and the more I think about it, I can't do it. I can't get behind it. It's, it doesn't stay true to the single edge with the blade. And it just looks like kind of a remake of the Starling with a different blade, and you're trying to reinvent the wheel, and there's no need to reinvent the wheel. The wheel's rolling just fine the way it is. The TNNSER, on the other hand, stays very true to the SEs of the past. It uses the standard single edge blade. It's got the head design that is really similar, although they didn't make them where they slid like that. That is something that Tom came up with. The machine originally in aluminum, if you'll remember, I did a shave with it. It's got a handle that is molded after the Ender's handle, and there's a reason for that. I never realized. I saw those handles, I heard people talk about it, but until you actually hold one in your hand, you don't understand how nice of a handle that is. So I just can't get behind the newfangled stuff. It's just not going to do it for me. And I kind of wanted to. I even got a little bit excited. I had run across a razor from India. It was plastic, and it swiveled. It had the head, but it was made for a half D blade, and it snapped closed like a Gillette click, where it has a plastic piece that came over. And I thought that'd be real neat for travel and fun to play with. And the more I think about it, yeah, I got to take back my statements on that one too. I can't get behind it. All right, so let's get on with this shave. We're going to use Morning Toast. This is the soap that Vintage Life made for toast. And I think there were 13 or 14 of us got it. I can't remember now. So that's the soap I'm going to use. The brush I'm going to use is also a JR creation. He turned the handle and then took the head off of the big old Omega 90 and put it on here. So it's the big Omega 90 brush. And we're going to use that brush and that soap and that razor. So that's all pretty well toast related. And we're going to jump in and finish up with Lustra's Coachman, which is actually, as we all know, Pinard Clubman. Made by the same people, made by Pinard, just in a different looking bottle. Same stuff. I can't see any difference in it at all. So anyway, had a really good trip, like I was saying. Got to drive a little bit. Snowball did wonderful. It's a 2011 Ram, just the quad cab. It doesn't have the crew cab or the mid cab. It's just a regular quad cab, which is a fancy extended cab. Still gives you plenty of room. And it's got the 4.7, and it ginned along around 20 miles a gallon pretty much the whole trip. There's a stretch of interstate that they've got the speed limit up to 75, so I was running 80. And it was staying just at or just under 20 on that. And so, yeah, it was a really nice, really nice trip. No major complaints, no major hitches. Everything was good. So anyway, we're going to do our normal prep. Now, I'm going to shave, quite honestly, tonight, so I don't have to for tomorrow. By the time I get up in the morning, there won't be enough growth that it'll bother me at work. And it's going to be a really busy day at work tomorrow. I already know because I've gotten some emails in on some things coming along. And I'm just going to go ahead and shave tonight. It gives me a few more minutes to sleep in the morning before work. Stretch it out as long as I can. Quite honestly, that's the biggest reason. Not that it takes that long to shave. So I had gotten into a discussion the other day also. Someone was saying that when they don't want a 30-minute open blade shave, that they'll reach for their Chick G, or was it an E? I can't remember. It's irrelevant. Because that gives them such a quick shave because they don't have to think about it. They just run it all over their face. Bull feathers. It does not take any longer. It does not take significantly longer to do an open blade shave than it does a safety razor shave. Now this person fired back that they're a full face shaver, so my thoughts didn't count for them. Bull feathers. Again. When I was shaving safety razor, I shaved everything but my mustache, and it is not significantly longer. Now that being said, I do realize that a lot of times, or almost all the time, when I do a straight or a shave at or any kind of an open blade shave, that I usually just do 2 passes. But even if you take the time and add in the 3rd pass, it's not going to amount to much. And the difference is not going to be significant. If you're taking 30 minutes to shave, by the way, unless you're just doing it because you enjoy taking the time, you're doing something wrong. Now, if you're doing it because you enjoy taking that much time relaxing, more power to you, that's great. But let's not think that it has to take 30 minutes to do an open blade shave, because it don't. All right, so here we go. So we got the Morning Toast Soap. Notice how nice a lather that soap is. Vintage Life did a really, really good job. Let's see what we get out of the TNNSER this time, although I'm pretty sure I know what we're going to get out of it. So I didn't adjust my my lather any. This is my normal lather that I'll go for. I don't try for buttercream because it's really a waste of time and soap. There was no need for me to thin the lather out with the TNNSER. It's no need at all. And as you can see, looking there, or maybe you can't see yet, but you will be able to see, this is going wonderfully well under here. This is probably the 3rd shave on this Pile Super. It's a carbon steel blade. I dry them off. That's all I do. I don't dip them in alcohol. I take the razor apart, take the blade out of the razor. Ooh, I see all the whiskers floating around in the water. It's okay. Don't go getting germaphobe and flipping all that nasty water you're shaving in the bowl. Yes, I am. All right. But there's, lost my train of thought. But anyway, not looking for buttercream. We're just looking for some lather to make the razor slide good and to carry the cuttings away. And this is doing a very, very fine job. No problems at all on a nice heavy 3-day growth. May actually be closer to 4 days growth. I don't know. But anyway. And I will say it was mighty hard. Mighty hard to not do a travel shave while I was in the hotel. Of course, I had my regular shave kit with me, and it always stays in my travel bag. And I started to a time or two, and I said, nope. I got that green TNNSER coming, and I want to shave with it before it goes to Michael to make sure everything's good with it. So I'll let you be the judge. Here we go after the first pass. As you saw, I wasn't doing a bunch of double passes and running all which way and doing all weird. It's just the first pass. Here's what we come up with. I missed a spot right under this ear, and I missed a little spot right under that ear, but that's no problem. Right there, you can see it in the camera. We don't edit things. We don't airbrush things. I missed it. It's okay. I promise it's nothing to call anybody out about. There's no need to get upset. It'll get taken care of. No doubt about it. This is my regular French market with and this is also my Bass Pro Shop Second Amendment cup. Near and dear to my heart. We don't get into politics at Toast, and I try not to get into politics too bad on the videos, but Buzz is a Second Amendment gun type. All day long, all night long. I do not, however, own one of those wicked semi-automatics, assault weapons. I own plenty of semi-automatics, and assault weapons are not, you know, nasty and evil. And no, they're not. Anyway, we're not going to get into politics like that, so we'll leave it be. But I do have my Second Amendment cooked, and I do use it often. And it did come from Bass Pro Shops. Personally, I like Cabela's a little better, but since Bass Pro Shop bought Cabela's, they're probably all pretty much the same. Alright, so here we go on our second pass. We're going to be sure to get stuff that we missed. This razor has a very good feel to it. There is absolutely no problems at all finding an angle. Look at that. We're going to go right. We're not even going to stretch the skin, although we probably should because it is a good thing to do. We're just going to go right under there on that angle. As you can see, the blade rinses nice and clean. You can see all the way into the blade gap there. There's no problem with it rinsing clean. The handle is just great to hold on to. This handle is amazing. I might have to get an Enders. I usually don't get razors other than the valets. That's an exception. I usually don't get razors I have to modify blades for or really monkey with blades. It doesn't look hard. There's some people that are doing it and they have shown very nice pictures on how to get a injector blade to work on the Enders. And it actually looks like a lot of fun. I may just have to have one, but so far I haven't gotten one. But they look really cool. And now that I've seen how nice the handle is, I might just have to have one of those. So anyway, so there we are, 2 passes. Now I don't normally clean up between passes like I did a minute ago, but I wanted to show how well it went. But I do clean up after the second pass before we start the witch hazel pass. And I've always done that. I don't know if it matters, but it's just one of those things that I do. All right, I got the areas I had missed, so everybody can stop worrying about the areas I missed. They're cleaned up. It's like every time you do something, somebody's got to come along. Hey, look what you did. You did that, you did this, and you said this in another video. Yep, I probably did. But remember 2 things. They're my videos, and opinions can change. So it has been known to happen that opinions can change. But if you go back and look, overall, the opinions don't change at all. Usually you can find something I say, and when you're trying to say I said something different somewhere else, when you really go and look at it, that ain't what happened. Ain't what happened at all. Anyway, get a witch hazel on. Now, I can tell you that this shave is good the way it is. It's exceptional. I could leave it alone. This is another one of those SE shaves, and you see everything still nice and tight in the back there as it comes back around, everything. Awesome razor. I could leave this shave alone and be just as happy with it as anything. It trimmed up around my goatee really well. I'm not going to have to go back to that. I'm just going back and hitting normal areas that I normally clean up with any razor I use. So this is just incredible. Now the only difference is, Michael, I'm going to tell you this to start with. When this razor came from Jayara, he's sending them in the plastic soap containers like you would use to travel with soap, bars of soap. And when this one came, it was in a deep purple case. You're not getting the deep purple case, Michael. I'm sorry, I'm keeping that one. You'll get the other case, which I think ironically is green. I'll have to go look. So to unload the blade out so that you can dry it is really, again, you're not going to cut your fingers all up with this thing. Just push forward with your thumb until it gets over the blade. You see how the front came over the blade there? Then you can easily grab it by the side. It all slides right off, and we take the blade right out. You can see there it's not holding a bunch of, all I did was swish it in the sink. This thing is so well made. It's not holding a bunch of lather up in it. It's not big and messy. Clean the razor. We're just going to dry it off on our hand towel over here. And then I'll give it a good washing before I send it to you. And obviously you can sanitize it and clean it up when it gets to you. It's made out of some kind of plastic. I'd have to check over on Toast and see. It's a different plastic from the first one. I don't know. It's magic. And, you know, I don't mess with magic. So anyway, blade cleans up, and like I said, hold the blade by the spine, grab it this way with the towel so both of them are being held by the spine, and you dry it just like that, and that blade's ready to go again. It'll be on its fourth shave, getting good and well broke in. Carbon steel blades, keep them dry, they last just as well as anything. Just how it goes. So there we go. The TNNSER 3D. This is my second shave with the TNNSER 3D. This is my first one with this green one that just came in. This one's going to Michael. Hope he enjoys it as much as I've enjoyed the razors that he has sent me. And while I'm not a real big fan of newfangled stuff, I will be using that Starling. It is, like I said, it does hold true to, you know, it looks like a face hoe, which is great. And it does use a standard blade, which is great. Even the AC razors, you know, I don't know. They're a whole lot closer than something that you're going to break a double-edged blade for. See what I'm saying? I just can't get into a single edge. You know, I'm not going to ban them from toast or anything. If you're shaving with them, you want to post them over there, you want to start a thread about it, there's already a thread started. That's fine. You want to discuss things in that thread, knock it out. We don't do the censorship of free speech over there, other than the fact that we don't mention unmentionables. But I'm just not going to get behind them. Not interested in them. I'm never going to buy one. Someone sends me one to shave with. Would I use it? Probably, just because I like to shave with stuff. But you know, is it really an SC razor to me? Single edge safety razor to me? It is a single edge. I understand. However, it's not a traditional, and it's trying to reinvent the wheel. We don't need to. It's like that focused, dynamic, plastic looking. It's not plastic. It looks plastic. Doodad thingy. Trying to reinvent the wheel. I think they did the same thing with their shavettes, where they put it where it had an angle and a sticker. It's like training wheels. We don't need training wheels. So anyway, that's why I don't like those. One of the reasons I don't like those. But anyway, you know, it's just an old guy rally. So I'm gonna get everything cleaned up here. This is the longest video I've made in a while. You'll notice it had nothing to do with the length of the shave. Shave is a shave. Razor's a razor, blade's is blade. As long as the razor is not defective and it holds the blade tight, this one does that. You're good to go. It's just great. So there you go. That's our shave for tonight. We're going to get back to work tomorrow. And there you go, a last look after we got a little aftershave on. You can see I cleaned up all those areas I missed, and it is an exceptionally good shave. That is as good a shave as you'll get with any other razor you have. Period. So there we go. Jayara, thank you again for everything you've done. Tom for the inventing. Andreas, and I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Let's say with Rivers Run and go with that for your design work. The teamwork you three had was just absolutely awesome getting these out. And guys like me appreciate that. So I'm going to go, quit yapping, and we'll see you next time. And wherever you are, whoever you are, whatever you're doing, happy shaves to you.